On the first part of this, we are asked to look at vegetative management factors. And it says underneath vegetative management, it says use soil conserving and or soil improving crops how often? Well, if we are at a cultivated site, in other words, an area where we're growing cultivated crops, we are going to be checking one of the items, either 1, 2, 3, or 4. That will be based upon the land capability class. Land capability class will determine how often we should be using soil conserving or soil improving crops in our crop rotation program. And in this particular case, we have class 3 land. If we look at our manual, under the vegetative management factor, on page 22, it says for cropland use, class 1 through 4 land, use soil conserving crops and or soil improving crops. Every 4th or 5th year is for class 1 and 2 land. Every 3rd or 4th year is for class 3 land. Every 2nd year is applicable to class 4 land, and then every year would be class 6 land if that land is being cropped. In this case, we are in class 3 land. Class 3 land, we should use these soil improving or soil conserving crops every 3rd or 4th year. So we should have marked item number 2 for underneath vegetative management factors. Now, in addition to item number 2, on cultivated land, we should also mark items number 5 and 6. Item number 5 says do not burn crop residue. Item number 6, it says use residue management, as in minimum tillage or reduced tillage. Now, you have to understand that this is a soil conservation service exercise, this land evaluation exercise. I recognize that from time to time we do burn residue, crop residue, grain stubble as an example. We burn it for various reasons. We burn it in some cases to assist in weed control, in other cases to assist in disease or insect control, and yet still again, from a residue management standpoint, if we're in an every year cropping situation, at some point in times when we have extremely heavy residue, we need to burn or remove some of that in order to get that seed bed ready for or prepared for the next crop. I am not going to sit here and be a proponent to you of burning or not burning. That's an evaluation that has to be made by each individual person who's involved with the stewardship of that land and the cropping program that you're in. All I will say is that for the purpose of this exercise, we automatically check items number 5 and 6 in addition to one of the categories 1, 2, 3, or 4 above in terms of how often we grow these soil improving or soil conserving crops. So in this case, we should have checked item number 2 every 3rd or 4th year for the soil improving or soil conserving crops, and items number 5 and 6. Now, if we're looking at vegetative management factors on a non-cultivated site, then the other factors below that, items number 7 through 13, are possibilities that might be utilized. But on cultivated cropland sites, we would only be considering one of the categories 1, 2, 3, or 4, and items 5 and 6. So it's pretty simple. When we get into a pasture or rangeland site, or woodland or woodlot site, as may be the case or will be the case in the laboratory exercise, then we need to consider items number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So I'm going to take just a minute to review those and when or how they might be used, since this is a practice exercise. Item number 7 says establish recommended grass, and number 8 is proper pasture and range management, 9 is protect from burning, and 10 is control grazing. Obviously, items number 7, 8, 9, and 10 are dealing with the vegetative management of a grassland, pasture type of site. Could even be native rangeland. If it is a pasture, an improved pasture type site, then, and we don't have desirable grass species there at the present time, then we would want to mark number 7, establish recommended grass. We would always want to use proper pasture and range management, and we'd want to protect from burning and control the grazing. So really on pasture or rangeland sites, we would be looking at 7, 8, 9, and 10. 7 would only be checked if it's feasible and desirable to come in and establish a recommended grass species. In other words, if we don't have desirable vegetation there at the present time. But items number 8, 9, and 10 are pretty much automatic for pasture and rangeland sites. Items number 11, plant recommended trees, and 12, harvest these trees selectively. These would be applicable to an area if the desired use of that site was woodlot or timber production. And then item number 13 says use only for wildlife or recreation purposes. That is only applicable if that site is so steep in topography or so rocky or shallow soils or whatever that it's really not feasible to use it for grazing, woodlot production, or I guess a cultivated site. So basically we're looking at item number 13 being checked on high land capability classes such as Class 8 land.